And we are live. It has begun. It is another CapmLew live cast. It is Tuesday, the 13th of December, year 2022, here in CapmLew HQ, up here in the upper sanctum, with Luke Coffee, as usual. And we're just loosening up. We're about to do another podcast. And we are happy to see no one has joined, and there are none of those stars for pay going on here. Somehow Facebook has enabled me to get stars for pay, and I'm just telling you, throw an emoji, save your money. Sponsor us on the podcast if you feel like it's your thing. But at this point, we don't even know what the podcast is. These are those salad days when we don't even know what we're doing. We spent the first probably 5 pieces of media on there just trying to figure out how mics work. That's fun. You can tell in my nonverbals how fun that is. And then we spent the next probably 6 pieces of media on there just giving some of our backstory and like that. And it is intense. We are intense people. And we offer no apologies, but we would have to warn you that there's some pretty hairy stuff in there. We're talking TW:/space SA space CSA. Yeah, very intense podcasts. And Luke and I were just sitting down. You know, we posted a new one today that's basically skate talk.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just skate talk and just effervescing some recap of the years. This podcast is the culmination of knowing that in 2019, when I shut down my brand work and exited the, I guess it was retail. I mean, I wound up trying to be a brand, which is wholesale. People don't even know about this. People don't even know that brands are wholesalers and shops are retailers. And then you've got, in between them, you've got distributors. Up to 3 tiers of distribution. So we were talking about that and some of the dynamics and a couple of funny stories, maybe 3 funny stories from that were just like, gall. And it feels nice to be able to tell, my side. That's all it is, though.
Yes.
That's all it is my side. And no apologies for telling my side of the story. If you want your side of the story to be out there, start your own podcast. Lord knows there's enough people out there saying their side of things about me. Many of them without having met me. And that's fine. That's fine. Salutations to Mike Villalobos. I missed a call from you the other day. I've been slammed. Been working with my son's roofing company, Solution Roofing, and that is super fun. I work in English and in Spanish and have a good time with that. Do you hear a really high-pitched noise right now?
No,
Okay,
are you
cool.
experiencing that?
I just caught, it's probably age.
God.
Cold weather's hitting, and that means indoor spots are prime. There are none.
There are none.
Because Cincinnati only has, let's see, in 2005, we had, they did a thing in Cincinnati in 2005, and we had like 25,000 or 50,000 people who love to play with skateboards.
Jeez.
Yeah, and now it's down to like 3,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I do not think or care whether we are in the waning days of a skateboarding wave. We are obviously not. But we've had our indoor spots closing. They're like impossible to keep open.
Yeah.
And honestly, on a couple of them, I'm glad. Yeah. We do have a really interesting indoor spot that's not far from my house, and we have a number of small warehouse spaces that are all, key kept. Yes. And like that. So I guess we're there back in 2008 when one of my writer friends was writing about what will happen when things, like shrink again. He was you know, doing a huge Midwest skate shop survey, and he was saying, what are we going to do if we lose the skate shops? And I was saying, why were we relying on skate shops in the first place? Skate shop is a great place to buy things. So if they carry what you buy, then they're going to survive. And if they, but I mean, it's a hard business selling skateboard stuff. Really probably belongs to the bike shops and the other cross-pollinated things. I don't know. Is it reasonable for someone to feel entitled to a full living selling useless wooden toys to people?
I guess if they do it right.
What is doing it right? Who does it right? Do we have any examples of
I'm trying to think. It's hard to tell. I think there's a lot of nuance. There are many factors involved.
A lot of nuance in
I mean, most of
factors.
them, for the past probably, 10 years have been making all their money selling shoes. I mean, you can't make any money selling skateboards. They're like $30 a pop. It's a crazy how...
Going on 20 years.
Yeah.
It was about
so
2003 that Nike started opening shops.
Yeah.
And shops around me, little shops, started seeing $1 million years on shoes. I had a small shop around here, and they always thought they were king because they were making money hand over fist on Nike and Adidas, and also Jamie Thomas's brand Fallen.
Yeah.
They were making a lot of money on shoes. Good on them. Good on you, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, so shoe sales are key. That's kind of gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in it since early 2000s as a participant in the industry, and I'm kind of not now. Now I'm in this kind of cultural mess. It's a mess. It is a mess.
It is.
And I'm watching even major influencers are deciding to go into fashion. I was watching, and by major influencers, I mean big YouTubers. Big YouTubers are relying on revenue streams from fashion and other goods. What's up with, you know, and back in the early 2000s, I was saying, man, a skateboard should be running up on being real expensive, but it should be really good.
Yeah.
It should be expensive and worth it, not expensive and not worth it.
Right.
And I feel like trucks and wheels tend to last pretty well. It's not hard technology to build durable. Right. But anyways, I digress. We're farting around up here doing some planning on the podcast. There's a new episode up today that is just skate talk and stories from the field of building a brand. And really was a fun one to make. Yeah. So go check it out on the CapmLew podcast. That's CapmLew, CapmLew, one word. It will pull up on Google if you do it one word. If you look up Captain Lou, you're going to be lost. If you put up CAPM space Lou, if you spell Lou any other way than LEW, you won't find it. I mean, we're just not there. We haven't done the SEO.
Yes.
You know what SEO is?
I don't, but I've got your back.
Search engine optimization.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, we haven't done any of that. We're not,
price.
probably not going to do it.
I think it's linked. We have it permanently linked in our lives as well, right? Correct?
Yeah, we did do that.
As well.
We did.
I'm interested. I have a question quickly before we end this Facebook Live.
We can keep going.
Here's my question. We have conjectured about the correlation between the wane of skate shop, you know, kingdoms.
The death of the skate shops.
The death of the skate shop. And we have made some cursory correlations between these deaths that we see happening and the way that skateboarding as a culture has interacted with girls and children and anybody who isn't super core. And I think that there definitely is a correlation there, but I'm also interested in your thoughts about the fact that everything is just, that has been happening, but also what has been happening is, like, you can go on Amazon and buy an entire roll of Jessup for like $40.
Heck,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
and I'll do it.
I will do it. Or the same thing. Dude, you can go.
I'm not walking in your skate shop to get cool guy by some stone dude behind the counter.
Yeah.
I'm done, dude. I'm 50 years old. I'm out of here, man.
Literally. And we see the same thing.
You earned every bit of what you're getting. Dummies.
Big old dummies.
Yeah, big dummies.
Big dumb poop mouth. You can also see, like, that's interesting too, because that correlation is happening side by side with the correlation between the fact that, like, being a pro skateboarder right now doesn't really mean a whole lot, because there's dudes on Instagram who are ripping without brand affiliation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Fact.
The transition we're experiencing is very interesting right now. There is a sunset happening, but also a sunrise, you know?
The sunrise, I mean, the Instagram revolution that has, in my opinion, blown skateboarding wide open is so cool.
Yes.
That's like the populist uprising of I can grab my board, I can put my foot on the ground, I can do whatever I want on this thing. There are no rules.
Right.
And people who do it with love wind up doing it with style, and that's super, super good. And as you were talking about what I entitle the death of skate shops, right?
Yes.
I mean, Luke says it a lot. He's like, they drove it to refusal.
They did, dude.
I don't think that's true in certain areas. Like certain areas of the country where you've got a tourist base. I would go to a coastal area, and dude, I would go and buy a $200 longboard just because my kid was asleep and I was holding him on my shoulder. Like 3 years old, like a 50-pound kid, you know, on my shoulder, asleep, and I had to go back to the car, get some stuff, throw that over the kid, and then ride all the way back to the beach to my other kids. I'd have my other son there, my other son there, and I one day I just bought a $250 longboard. I couldn't afford that. That was ridiculous, but it was greased by the whole
dynamic.
You start here at the beach, you know, but like open a skate shop in an area like, I don't know, like something landlocked. You know, if I say the name of a city,
somewhere in Kansas,
I'm gonna get more hate mail.
Hate mail.
But open a skate shop in the Midwest, right? Well, now you're in a kind of a situation. Oh, by the way, the skate shop on the beach is usually like whatever Moon, you know, or Zoomies, or like Ron John, or whatever big name corporation. The one in some, like, you know, city in the Midwest, you know, I don't know. Man, you name a single city and the hate mail just doesn't stop. We get so much hate mail. We don't get any hate mail.
Dude,
we don't get any mail at all.
We don't get any mail at all.
It'll start if we keep yakking.
Yeah, let's do it.
But is that
No, that was me. I bumped it. I'm sorry.
Is it still talking?
No, this one you flipped around. You did a good thing.
Is it better?
No, it's better. I just bumped it accidentally.
Good. The Gibson likes to talk when we talk. But
magic.
You don't have that coastal vibe. You don't have the vacationers. Nobody's going to Indianapolis and letting their hair down and deciding to snag a longboard because they want something to go with their rainbow sandals that they just bought, you know, or their, you know, whatever they're doing in Sanooks.
Right.
You know, nobody's letting their hair down. And so the skate shops here and in the Midwest, they have to cater to the dedicated skateboarder. And the dedicated skateboarder in the Midwest has typically been someone who's been discipled into a very narrow band of what's legit by really Thrasher.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have Low Card Mag, and we used to have more stuff. You know, you could get interviews with Dan Pencil and Dan Drohovel and people like that back in the day, back 2005, 8, even up to 10.
Yeah.
But it's just Thrasher. And now it's this weird bait and switch that's happened as you got, you know, it's really necessary for, if you want to have a business in skateboarding, you're going to have to be more like Zoomies. And, you know, you go out to the coastal areas and you've got some really intelligent people that are running some really great skate shops that are really fun to go into.
Right.
And really friendly and really are great spots. And they're corporate owned, and you're supposed to hate them. You were told you're supposed to hate them. You're supposed to be in the Midwest picked on if you bought your, you know, even like a mall shop that only has like 3 outlets. That's still a really small business.
Yes.
And you just get hated on if you bought, you know, man, it's so weird, you know. And I do feel that I feel that it was driven to refusal by the powers that be that declare what is and isn't authentic skateboarding. It just was dumb. And now we're seeing, I mean, you and I are talking about Instagram.
Right.
And that's like 7 years ago.
Which is insane.
We're late to the party.
We are.
Talking about Instagram, because Instagram blew the lid off 7 years ago, and it's awesome.
What's insane is that it's been 7 years, and I have not listened to even one piece of media talking about this phenomenon.
They're out there.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
No,
good. That's
they're
good
out
to
there.
hear.
You've got people who are griping about it, the dried old. You've got Chris Niratko's and who's the other guy? You've got the guys that raised their fist and shook it and said,
Right.
barracks rules and like that back in 2008, 9, 10. But they started getting wise and then they started getting woke. It's just a money grab. It's not authentic. The culture has not been one big happy family, and I don't think it's fair to expect it to be.
No.
We've got entire core shop brands in the Midwest that are pretending like they weren't on that classic 1990s vibe. They're
Right.
pretending it never existed, like they're this big happy family and everyone's welcome thing.
Right.
And you know what? Good on you. Keep your pretending, because if you can do a half-assed job pretending that skateboarding is for everyone, everybody wins.
Sure. Right.
I'm still not gonna walk into a skate shop and buy a sheet of grip tape for $15 now, or 10 or 8 or whatever. I'm not. And it's not because it costs that much. It's because I'm just tired of getting cool guyed over the counter. You know what? Cut to me next week
Yeah.
deciding deciding to give it another try, because I always do that. I always say I'm never doing something. I remember that I said it,
Yeah.
and then I decide to give it another try, and I wind up doing it because I like being surprised that I was wrong about that and give it another shot.
Well,
I do.
I'm thinking about Cincinnati. Trying to think how many skate industry businesses have closed in the last 5 years in Cincinnati.
I'll make a paper list.
Yeah, make a paper list.
With my F701 stainless steel pen,
Yes.
I will make a list.
Air Force pin.
All right, so we know Ollie's skate park closed.
Yes.
And that's closed in tremendous, deadly scandal.
Yes.
People went to prison.
Yes.
TW : space SA space
Yes.
CSA.
Yes.
All right, Ollie's closed. There was a place that used to be called Sessions,
And locals.
and then it was called Locals.
That one's done, right?
It is done.
Yes.
Okay. I'm putting over here another column for things that are open right now, but we're going to save that for later. And we're going to talk about them and maybe feature them even in video format if we want to. So that's Ollie's was a skate park and a skate shop.
Right.
Sessions was a skate park and a skate shop. What else?
Is Demented still open?
Yes.
Really?
Demented,
Are you sure?
Demented is still open.
Okay. Concrete City is donezo.
Is it?
It is done. It
But they
says
have a storefront.
permanently closed, it says on Google.
Wow. Okay. Hang on here. So
Go ahead.
another one that's closed is Anonymous. That was
Yes.
like the shop, but it closed a number of years ago in a giant war that blew up. A classic Cincinnati retail war between
Yes.
Anonymous and The Galaxy. Now I think The Galaxy, Galaxie. This is just Cincinnati.
Yeah.
This is where we live. The Galaxy, I think, is still open.
Their Newport location, but the one in Northside opened and then closed fairly quickly, I believe.
It was open for 5 years.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
that's my count. It was open for 4 or 5 years, or maybe even longer.
I feel like it was 3, but I trust your judgment
It
on
was
it.
probably 3.
I don't know, dude.
No, they were open for quite a while. In fact, they had 2 locations and a beautifully built out boutique.
Put Westwood Skate Shop is open. Just open, probably less than a year ago, maybe more than a year.
Demented and Westwood are remarkably friendly shops.
Yes.
They are. They're pulling off being friendly shops. I don't know. One of my litmus tests is, can I get 169 trucks? Can I get 215s or the analogs to those in Ace or Venture or other? Can I get 60 millimeter wheels? How about 58? Okay, then how about 56 millimeter
Okay,
wheels?
please, oh God.
Yeah. Can I get no? And I don't mean cruiser wheels. I mean like bones, like a good radiused wheel like those are. Galaxy closed. I don't even know, man. It's been a long time since I even cared.
Ollie Sessions, Anonymous, Concrete City, the Galaxy. I think that we have them covered.
No, there's more.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so. But let's move on from it. It's making me sad.
At least half.
We still have, there's still a Zoomies or two. There's still a Vans or two. And
Do you
there's
think
another one.
The freaking malls are closing too, dude?
Yeah.
The entire like mall structure is like on its way out.
So maybe we're looking, maybe, I remember in 20, what?
Blacklist.
Oh, Blacklist is, Blacklist is open here, and they're open in Indiana as well. They've opened a new shop on McMillan Street in Clifton, right in the heart of the city, and they've got a shop in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
And as memory serves, I believe that they serve the snowboarders as well, which is a great money-making technique. I think that's a lot of the ways that people in like Boulder and Denver make their money is selling people snowboards as well.
There you have it. There's where you get like the board sports stores. This was something that core skate shops used to go absolutely ballistic about. Stores that would serve longboarders, you know, downhill, slide. There's so many different disciplines in longboarding that a retailer actually has to do the work of researching the market and I could tell that the core skateboarding shops of the world really didn't like that kind of work. They didn't like that even about, you know, maker-made skateboards. They didn't want to have to be able to think about and sell those things over the counter. And you know what, man? No hate. I get it. But you drove it to refusal, and now we are where we are. And you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we all should even care. I think we should go skateboarding.
Yeah.
I don't think that griping about it is going to do much about it. Back in the day, there was some room for griping about it because it was happening. And griping about it was a way that someone could find people who cared and who might be able to coalesce into some sort of doing something about it and offering better alternatives. That didn't happen in the past. The opposite of that happened in the past. We are where we are. Moving forward, I think we're past the days when a kid or a big kid can get picked on for where they bought their boards.
You really think so?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't feel like we are, dude. Well, I feel like because skateboarding has been distilled down. You know, the core has distilled down, but as the core is distilled, it's like trying to pick up water in a strainer. Like, people know that there's other options out there, so they'll either be a scooter kid or they'll just go someplace else to skate. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, we should mention that.
Go ahead.
Some of what we're talking about, I attribute to the rise of the scooterers.
Yeah, dude, those kids are sick.
The scooter kids are all right.
They are.
The majority of the ones I've talked to, and I talk to people all the time, they just don't think skateboarding is accessible.
Right.
Because to them, it's been grilled into their minds that skateboarding is jumping down things and flipping the board.
Yes.
Like 100%. And that totally makes sense to me. They always say, the kids say to me, I tried skateboarding, but I'm no good at it. And then I look at what are the most popular places to find out what skateboarding is. And one of them is Revive Skateboards. Another one is Braille. The very first episodes are how to kickflip. Yes. And a lot of kids actually enjoy watching it more than doing it. Right. But if it was like, you know what? I mean, I should probably just get to work and create an alternative to that, because my first episode would be, first thing you want to do is get a freaking board that you love, a shape that you love, a color that you love. Right. Get something that when you look at it just says, yeah, man, let's go ride, right? Yes. And the next step is get out there and ride that thing. Find a nice, easy hill and just start a big, wide parking lot and just start carving around on that thing. Yep. Push and carve and roll. And if you love that feeling, then you're like me, and just get it to where you're going. Now, you know, you're tired of pushing for a little while and you're like standing next to the car, do some 360s. Like, start doing some 360s. And now start doing some of them, I don't know, Jimmy walks that, you know, the freestyle folks do, you know, and now do some of them turning around, walk the dogs, and start playing with your skateboard and keep skateboarding in that play zone. That's where skateboarding thrives and prospers, even as a business, is when it's in the play zone. Yep. When it's the serious business of cultural regulation and the serious business of establishing legitimacy and legitness, you know? Legitness?
Yes, dude, the legitness.
Like, dude, once it's like that, you're done, dude. It's done before it started. Like, it's just going to drive to refusal. It's going to be, anyway, so.
Well, and you can see it, like,
yeah.
Last time we were at FLOPA, at least half the kids, if not 3/4 of them, were riding scooters. And they had smiles on their face the entire time. They were having so much fun. Like,
kids, the only time the kids didn't smile was when they got around us.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid that the older skateboarder guys were going to be jaded on them and like that. And there was a good contingent of cool guy skateboarders, relatively well shop affiliated, sitting in a line, vaping weed, doing their thing, you know, Lurk Squad. And I've got love for them, you know. But and they're not young. They're older guys at the park, a park full of children, you know, so am I, you know, but out there, and they don't like the scooter kids, and the scooter kids know it. Kids are smart. Yeah. And, you know, you've got this whole thing like a social experiment where you got 40 kids, 24, 35, 40 kids on scooters. Yeah. A couple of little girls in pink on bicycles. Yes. And you've got 6 guys in a Lurk Squad sitting down on a block. They're not moving. We were there for 2 hours, and some of them didn't move. Yeah. They did get up and push around. One of them, super talented. It's always like this.
I know.
Yeah, you've got the one guy, and he's super talented. Right. Obviously was on his way somewhere at one point or another. Right. And he's turn that dinger off. And
he was probably like on a road trip through to see his parents in the Northeast. You know what I mean?
The one I remember when we were there at FLOPA that one time was obviously a homie from that area, you know, of that shop.
You think so?
He was a long-termer. Yeah, I know, because I recognized this, like, I remember when he was a kid. Okay. And but when you talk to the scooter kids and they find out that you're a friendly, then they're just smiling.
Yeah, they're
the
sick.
Scooter kids love zipping around, and I'm like,
sick.
Man, you know, why aren't they zipping around on skateboards? It's because the skateboarding idea is flipping your board and jumping down things, getting broke off, achieving, what do you call it? Achieving legitimacy.
Yeah, right.
And kids are too smart.
Under the rain, not rain like a king, but like literally the falling rain of other people's gruff and surly behavior towards you until you can prove that you
it's pure scorn.
Yeah, just scorn, dude. Like, people are not that dumb. Especially kids.
Kids
are
just smarter than that.
Rip. Yeah, they're just trying to have fun, dude.
Kids are smart and sensitive, and they're not going to want to do something where they're being judged every minute of it. Even if the thing is, the kids who will do it are the ones who thrive on other people's approval. Yep. Kids who thrive in a system of approval, disapproval, where they can at least be on the ladder, moving up, and get credit for that. Yep. And you know what? That's actually a pretty gross system that appeals to the most narcissistic tendencies in humans. And it's a little bit gross. It's not the worst thing in the world. There's a place for it. Meritocracy. There is a place for meritocracy.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Tranches of
assholes.
Skill. Yeah, like whatever. Sure. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, business magazines have written intelligent articles about the profile of the asshole manager and how important it is to a company to have people who are driven by achievement and who disapprove of underperformance, and that there's a place for that. Yeah. But it is like, it's the jocks.
Yep. Nike jocks of the late '80s, Travis Phillips said.
God loves the jocks, you know, and I've got love for the jocks, but I don't give jocks. I don't give them control over culture. Right. You know, they're ridiculous, so they should be ridiculed. You know, that's my whole kind of deal is like, you know what, some things are ridiculous, so let the ridicule flow. But you get a early 2000s Gary Rogers from Metro Skate Shop doing Skate Line NBD, and he starts to really do some proper ridicule on some of these, you know, folks. I think he made fun of Jamie Thomas and Chris Cole and people like that. Dude. Bro, they motivated an entire buyout. Yes. Thrasher bought it out and made it what it is today. Right. And I don't think what it is today is as valuable as what it was becoming.
Yes.
Whatever.
Whatever, dude.
You came here for opinions.
You know? Dude, you know what's funny? I haven't thought about this until now, but so I remember when I first started skateboarding, we would see the scooter kids and we're always hanging out with them. And then it's weird because they began to get older. I saw this a lot in Colorado, and you began to run into these cliques of these guys on scooters, and they were just like the jock skater dudes. Yeah. Literally the same. They were just as surly and angry and shitty as
shitting on other kids.
Yes,
you know,
it was crazy, dude. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not the toy. It's like human nature. Like we're so drawn to it. It's wild, dude. It was hilarious. I was like, oh, we've come full circle, dude. You know.
Again, I'm sitting here. I'm going on 50 years old, and I don't mind it as much as when I was in my 30s. You know. But it definitely is worth remarking.
Right.
You know, it's worth remarking about and worth talking about because that's but when it's
yes.
We have a Tik-Tok war going on in the comments down here. When you have a business.
Yes.
When you have we touch on this in the podcast. When you have a business and your job is to sell items.
Yeah.
To sell the material to the community for the enjoyment of these useless wooden toys. For this really, it's a meaningless pursuit. It's not meaningful. No. Skateboarding doesn't save your life.
No.
I know that getting up in the morning and being stoked on skateboarding feels like it saved your life. But the thing that saved your life was that you stopped smoking crack. You decided to stop smoking crack and to start living for something else.
Yeah.
And we kill what skateboarding is when we enthrone it as a religion or a god or a governing philosophy. It just doesn't have the necessary componentry for those things.
Right.
And when we treat it like it's not as important as your family. It isn't your family. It's usually a retail and sales agreement based on flashy marketing and mostly male modeling.
Dude, you're breaking people's hearts right now. You're going in. It's so true. I got your back 100%, dude. I feel like you're telling kids that Santa Claus isn't real right now. Dude, it really is.
He's not. That's not real.
That's so funny, dude. No, it's true, and it's really sad. What happens when you get so broke off you can't do it no more, dude?
Componentry is a word. It is a word.
Componentry.
It is a word.
It's like carpentry, Sam.
Yeah, you should know.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dude, it is interesting. It's so true, and it's not just skateboarding. This idea that
we do this with everything, man.
Well, and it's funny because as a retail business, if you were fiscally minded, I figure that a person would think, hey, how can we get more people in the door?
Hey, retailer, what's better, more customers or fewer customers?
Yeah,
tell me.
Right, which one? Just pick one. Right.
Oh, good. Well, then let's make it so women definitely don't feel comfortable doing this with us. Since it's not playful and it's an entire lifestyle that's completely, man.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Blowing it.
Right, seriously.
Blowing it. And they're the ones that always are telling people like me that we're blowing it when we're not cool enough or something.
Yeah, jeez, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
Right, you can't even kickflip, bro.
That reminds me of a story. I'll tell it on the podcast.
Yes,
I'm gonna tell the story. I'm writing it down.
That's so funny, dude. It's like as a
story which culminates in a skate shop owner telling me he's going to take me, inviting me to the parking lot for him to kick my ass. This is going to be fun.
That's sick, dude. It is crazy the way that skating is changing and the way that media is influencing it. I mean, it's fun, dude. There's some dudes on Instagram that are so much fun to watch. Dude.
Absolutely, dude.
That roller skater guy that I sent you some clips on, dude. That guy is so much fun to watch.
You mean that chubby guy? Oh no, he was an inline guy.
No, dude, that guy is sick. He does a bail flip, a backflip.
Peak male performance guy.
It's so good,
bro. That guy is so healthy. See, now if we were a real operation, we'd cut to that clip and discuss it, but we're not, so we won't. It's fine.
Just look it up on YouTube. Imagine us talking about it.
You all know anyway, and if you don't, just look up peak male performance. I don't think it's. I don't think that's what he says, but
no, it is. That's what he says.
Is that what he says?
He hits a backflip. I think that was at Louisville Skate Park too. He hits a backflip and he's like, "You may not like it, but this is what peak male performance looks like." It was so good, dude.
It was like a razor knife right through all the unfun, super serious, you know. And I know the kid who, when he was 13, was a sponsored skier, skateboarder, went snowboarding with, and I know the spinal and knee injuries, and and on and on and on. I know.
Where's Jaws?
Don't Google peak male performance. That's funny.
Don't Google. Oh yeah.
Jaws is making new clips, and
have you seen a recent clip of him?
I think it's recent because he has the same appearance to him. I think he's rehabbed his knees.
Okay.
I think he's.
I was worried about him. I thought that he skittered out into kind of like pain pills and.
Oh, I hope not. I really hope not.
I haven't seen anything from him in a while.
I saw some Instagram over a year ago where Jaws was going on Aaron Homoki was going on a therapeutic, adventure of like rebuilding from being so broke off.
Good.
And that he was saying like he was going to build back. And then I saw some what I thought were recent YouTube clips of him still jumping down stuff that I can't jump up.
Bro.
Yep, I can't even get up with a
like a ladder.
My first 2 size ladders don't go up.
Stuff, You need like a scissors lift. Or what about Ben Rayborn, dude? I haven't seen anything from Ben Rayborn in a long time.
Ben got sober and
he got
himself back on track. But one of the things about sobriety is sometimes it's fits and starts, and a lot of times I'm like, that's why today I was watching some stuff about Bam Margera,
dude,
and I was wondering when it was dated because it came out on Vice one day ago.
Was it an epically later?
It wasn't epically later.
I really hope he's okay. Is he
okay? I do too. I'm rooting for every single one of you out there. I really am. Even if I'm stepping on your toes with something, it's opinions. It's why you come here.
Come on, bro.
Relax.
Come on. Why are you even here?
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to be here, but come on.
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, I'm just thinking about those guys.
It's hard for me to think about those things because the number.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Jaws had some fun clips on a YouTube channel a little while ago.
I'm happy to hear that.
I think that's where I saw it, and
good.
I'm glad, and I hope that these guys can capitalize on their fame as legit core skater guys, and I hope that they can. I want everyone to make good money and live a good life. I want that.
Yeah.
And there's a place also. There's a place for the super serious core by us for us people. Just know that place lies within the crosshairs of legitimate ridicule. And one of the features of my life and journey has been that, well, if you guys are going to do that, then I'm going to do this.
Right.
I'm going to talk about reasons why that is ridiculous, reasons why that is counterproductive, reasons why that is culturally destructive.
Right.
And I'm also going to contrast those opinions with the fact that when retailers get this elitist jock mentality going, they're cutting off their own nose in order to spite their own faces.
Yes. Because
their job is to make more skateboarders, not fewer.
Yeah.
And their job is to serve them with value and inspiration, to advertise their products and carry products like a real skate retailer. And there are lots of them that are really good. You may live near one like this. They're curious about new products. They're curious about multidisciplinary slalom. They're curious about downhill sliding. They're curious about longboarding, high-speed downhilling. They're curious about freestyle. And they want to know which products you want. They want to sell you those products. They're up against it because once someone knows what they like, they can order it online. Really serious retailers are also an online store.
Yes.
And it's hard. And
Can you think of an example of a shop that does that? Because I currently cannot think of an example of a shop that
Jokers.
does that. Where's that?
It's in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
Okay.
Joker skate shop.
It's
sure.
Like places like Florida, California, Colorado.
Because they were foresightful enough to say there's a larger market out there. We need to go online and we need to offer our stuff online. Now we've got operations like Powell where I can go and buy my Powell wheels directly from Skate One.
Right.
I love it. As a skateboarder,
yeah,
I'm directly supporting with higher margin the people who make my wheels, who make my boards right in America. That's insanely cool. And it's harder to find, but there are makers out there like this. Sam Cooke says Rhett
Skateboards. Yeah.
Rhett Skateboards is in Indiana, Bloomington.
Yeah, Bloomington. Yeah, I believe so.
That's a small skate shop, a friendly shop. And I suppose that their stuff is available online. If I had a small skate shop in my area, I would have all my inventory online ready to sell.
Yep.
I would also have a circle drawn on my map.
Yep.
And I would do weekly delivery runs and deliver people's stuff to their houses. I might even do daily delivery runs, but I'd have to get a Prius.
Yeah, come on now.
Or a Tesla.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have to get something that had good mileage. I can't do it in my 1500 Suburban, two-wheel drive Suburban.
Check 1500.
It's a GMC Suburban. I could.
That would be so hard to do.
You'd have to have online. You'd have to offer delivery. That doesn't exist. I might have. You'd also, a skate shop should have a skate team.
Yeah.
The job of the team needs to be not to prove that the skate shop is better than you.
Right.
It needs to be to prove that the skate shop loves you and wants to skate with you.
Yep.
This is the lost art of having a skate team. Pepsi and Hobie and Logan and all of them used to just, they don't have online, but they do have an inventory. Okay, well that's really common. Oh, TriStar up in Cleveland has all of its stuff online, and I was ground zero with them when they were getting it online.
Okay.
What number Suburban am I on now? I'm on the same Suburban, Chris Gurley,
yes.
And it's on like its fourth transmission.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's on its fourth transmission. It's in the transmission shop right now. Please support the podcast.
Yeah,
and thanks to those of you who do.
Yes.
Chris Gurley is one of them.
Yes.
Listen, all of this stuff balls together that, you know, the core movement of skateboarding, and I always look back historically, and I feel it's worth saying that mistakes were made. But the best way to discuss mistakes that were made is in an attitude of moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just like punching up.
Yeah.
But it does feel like punching if a person is intractably arrogant.
Yes.
So a new transmission on a Suburban costs
how many stars?
About 3,700 stars.
Oh my gosh,
on
dude.
Facebook. I think a star costs you 95 cents.
Yes.
I don't think it gives me 95 cents. So make it 5,000 or 6,000 stars.
Oh my gosh.
Would get a new transmission on a Suburban.
Yes, dude.
But you can't buy another truck nowadays for that many stars.
No.
It'd be more like 70,000 or 80,000 stars.
Yeah, for a cheap one.
Yes.
Which is insane, dude.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm content. I'm very happy. But this has been a good chat. I hope that it did good for your hearts. You got any more ideas or thoughts right now?
I'm really just interested. Was thinking about your, you know, how could you run a solvent? Is that what they call it? Solvent when you're actually making money? A solvent skate shop in today's market. I have a thought, which is that the reason that these guys in Denver and in Florida and in California are solvent is because they have the culture around them is totally geared towards things like skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding.
Oh, because Denver is outdoor sports all day.
Yeah, because they have a core shop, and I think the core shop does pretty well, but it's because literally in the Denver area there's at least 40 glorious, amazing skate parks to go to. It's not like those guys are real nice, you know. Like it's not as if you can go in and I went in. They have a good selection, but I don't know. I just think it really depends on the area. You know, like if we were to open a skate shop in Cincinnati, you would have to make some powerful moves. You would have to. The reason that Revive exists is because they're a YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they're not a skate shop, but you would almost have to be a media brand.
I would actually tell you that Revive isn't even a skateboard brand. Even though they sell skateboards and skateboard-related stuff, they are a media brand.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they sell a lot of merchandise that is not skateboards, and they sell a lot of skateboards to kids who aren't going to go skateboarding.
Right.
And I'm not against it.
Yeah,
I'm not against it.
That's a business move.
But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you can trust me, I will ridicule. All right.
I actually don't find it to be that ridiculous.
I do.
Okay. I like it.
Well, we'll ridicule it plenty on the podcast. We will.
Yeah, I'm down for some ridicule.
I'm writing down the skate shop model, like what would work. And we're going to make an episode about what would work for a skate shop, just because I used to care about skate shops a lot. Yes. The idea of the local skate shop. And I am a person who, in the actual history of my behavior, I have supported local skate shops that even were culturally against me. To my own hurt, I put down blood in the sand to help the local skate shop, even when they were not good to the customer, even when they were not good for the culture.
Right.
I have really done that. And it was 2018 when I finally had to change my tune and just be like, yo, don't go there.
Yeah.
They treated customers so badly, and they were so proud of it. Yeah. Insane.
Right.
But I mean, I'm beyond the ability to scandalize now. I feel like I've seen it all, and some of the worst of it is way worse than being a tool at the counter.
Yes.
I was just writing down some stuff for a skate shop model because, you know, I have a lot of respect for the dream of owning a skate shop in terms of the sincerity and the depth of, and we even have feedback in the comments now that it's the same over here, it's the same over there, you know, except until recently. Then we have shops that open up and pretend to be nice, but they're really run by people who are not behaving well. Yeah. It's intense. Watching my local indoor park shop, coffee shop with interest to see how they fare. Well, they're a coffee shop too.
See?
I've been to Memphis. I've been to that coffee shop. And that's a good combo.
That is a good combo. I have friends who run an indoor spot in Denver.
And they run art shows. They're also an art venue.
That's smart.
I like that.
That's smart.
How about a farmer's market style shop? I like it.
Yeah, whatever, man.
One of the shops I saw that had a fighting chance was also a U-Haul rental.
Yes, dude. But
the best shops that I've ever been in have been the board sports shops that are in the mall, but are like 3 or 5 different shops, all owned by the same family who care about what's going on. Another one was a t-shirt shop, and the amount of political hate that they experienced in their city from the core shop by us for us was absolutely nuts. Because, and I remembered I talked to the core shop in that town. I was like, yo, why don't you just turn the friendly page on it and then steal all of those kids who bought their first board at the mall, steal them into being like stoked and included and feeling like they're part of something. Run a team that, instead of shutting it down and establishing this weird insecure dominance that you have, don't create your marketing gravity by appealing to children's insecurity and inferiority complex. Run your thing based on just the sheer funness of, oh, what's that? It's not fun for you anymore because you took it too serious. Oh, and I don't take it seriously enough for you to take me seriously, even though what I'm saying is completely business 101. Oh, and you're not a business person. What you are is you're a wannabe cult leader. You know, you want to have a cult. What you should do, shut down your skate shop, start a cult. You know, if you're going to abuse people, just get to work, get all their money. You know, That's funny because I get called a cult leader and I'm always like, where's my money? You know? Yeah.
That is so funny, dude.
But yeah, so what's even tough is shops are trying to play friendly now, and a lot of them are not kid safe. They're not even big kid safe. I wouldn't send a lot of the people I know who are trying to. You need an old bread truck. All right, so I was ground zero when the Nomad skate truck was the model. Go where the skaters are, serve them their stuff, and the Nomad. But then internal politics started up. There was all this internal politics, and so the brick and mortar Nomad skate shop was started, and it was just awful. Too soon for the Heaven's Gate Nike SBs. Nice. I'm a branch skate video.
Gosh.
Nice,
Sam.
I like it. Well, we like you guys, and we're gonna do an episode or two out of the upper sanctum here, and then we're gonna keep planning. We're not planning. We're just doing. So that's what we think about that.
I'm down. I got your back, though.
All right. What's our catchphrase?
You usually say for what it's worth, and
That's
I
right.
say laters.
For what it's worth.
Laters.
CapmLew.